Vaccine refrigerators are designed to keep vaccines between 2 and 8 degrees Celsius. But it is not enough to keep the interior temperature within this range. Vaccines must be arranged inside the refrigerator in a way that makes sure they are not exposed to damaging temperatures or other harmful conditions. Preferably, a health facility refrigerator should store only vaccines and diluents. Notice the space between the vaccine and diluent containers. This lets air circulate between them and keeps them cool. This also makes it easier to handle the vaccines. You can see that where vaccines and diluents are stored in cartons, there is at least 2 centimeters of space between the stacks. And the cartons are clearly labeled so they are easy to read when you open the refrigerator. Vaccines and their diluents should be stored in the refrigerator together whenever possible. If there is inadequate space to keep diluents there, you may move the diluents into the refrigerator at least 24 hours before they are needed so they are cooled. Individual vials of vaccines and diluents, those that are not in cartons, are stored in a plastic tray or box. The important thing is that they are stored in a clear and orderly way. It is also helpful to keep and label a tray for vaccines that should be used first. This may include vaccines with darker VVMs and opened vials. Remember, a VVM's inner square gets darker with heat exposure over time. As long as the VVM is still lighter than the circle, it is safe to use. Vaccines with the darkest squares should always be used first, even if the expiry dates are later than the vaccines with the lighter squares. You may also want to keep opened multi-dose vials in the Use First tray. Remember, once opened, multi-dose vials that meet WHO-approved criteria under the national policy may be kept and used for up to 28 days. Now, let us review what not to do. Do not store food and drink in a vaccine refrigerator. Do not keep vaccines that are expired, have VVMs at or past discard point, or reconstituted for over 6 hours. Do not store vaccines or diluents in a freezer compartment. And do not open the door unless needed. Now, you know some of the general rules for arranging vaccines in refrigerators. Check out the refrigerator in your facility and see if you can identify things you have done right and places where vaccines might be at risk.